Let's be honest, the word networking probably makes you cringe. You're told to go to mixers, collect business cards, and send dozens of generic LinkedIn messages. It feels transactional, it's exhausting, and for a senior leader like you, it almost never leads to real opportunity. But here's what nobody tells you about landing high-level roles. The most successful executives that I've coached don't really network. They do something entirely different. You see, hiring is risky, and companies want to minimize that risk. So they default to hiring people who are already known and trusted by their current top performers. Your goal is not to be a good networker, it's to become a known, trusted quantity. I'm Terry McDougall, and for years I've coached directors and VPs who sometimes felt stuck and didn't know how to go about looking for that next great role. But today, I'm not here to give you more tips. I'm giving you a 3-part framework to replace networking entirely so that you can build the trust that creates career opportunities for you. The first part of this framework is what I call the value first playbook. The principle is simple. You give value before you even think about asking for it. This flips the entire dynamic of networking on its head. Instead of thinking, who can help me? Your only question becomes, how can I provide unique value to key people in my orbit? And when I say in your orbit, this could be the person that's sitting right next to you today. Networking is not necessarily about going out and meeting strangers. It's about building strong relationships with people that you might already know. This isn't about sending generic articles that you found on the news. It's about providing targeted, strategic insight that makes their job easier. Here's how this looks in practice with 3 specific plays. First, the strategic share. Imagine a peer in another department is launching a major supply chain initiative. You find a niche industry report with some surprising data. You send them a quick low-pressure email, hey, saw this and thought of your initiative. The data on page 4 about vendor consolidation seems counterintuitive. I'm curious on your take. Might be helpful to you. You've just offered insight and started a strategic conversation, not asked for a favor. Second is the connector ploy. You become a hub of value. In a conversation, you realize your contact in marketing is struggling with a problem your old colleague in finance has already solved. You make a simple introduction. You're not just connecting people, you're demonstrating your broad organizational awareness and your collaborative spirit. Third is the problem solver. In a meeting, you hear a colleague mention a minor frustration. A week later, you follow up and you say, hey, I remembered you mentioned that you were looking for a good data visualization tool. My old team used this one and had great results with it. No obligation, just passing it along. You're just trying to be helpful. Each of these plays does the same thing. It systematically builds your reputation as a strategic resource, not as a requester. You become the person high-level people want to talk to because every interaction with you leaves them a little bit smarter. Point 2 is the inner circle system. Second, you need to replace your address book with an inner circle. A wide, shallow network of hundreds of LinkedIn connections is basically just a vanity metric. It's useless in practice. A deep, curated inner circle, on the other hand, is a career multiplier. Think of it as building your personal board of directors. This isn't just about meeting more people, it's about architecting a small, powerful group of allies and advisors who can provide you with different kinds of support. And here's how to build it. First, map your 5. On a piece of paper, identify 5 to 7 key individuals who fit these roles. You need a peer ally in another department who can be your eyes and ears. You need a mentor, someone who's already walked the path that you're on. You absolutely need a sponsor. That's a senior leader with political capital who will advocate for you in rooms that you're not in. And finally, you need a challenger, someone who will respect you enough to tell you the hard truths that others don't. Next, establish a cadence. The key is to create a low friction, high value reason to connect with them maybe once a quarter. Your outreach should never be, hey, can I pick your brain? Instead, try, hi, Susie, I'm working on this project and I remember your advice on this particular topic, and I'd love to give you a 10-minute update on how I'm applying it. This approach respects their time, shows that you listen, and reinforces your relationship. It transforms networking from a random reactive activity into a focused leadership discipline. You are now proactively managing the handful of relationships that will truly define your career trajectory. Point number 3, the mindset shift from transaction to trust. Finally, we get to the mindset that makes this entire framework function. Without this, the first 2 parts are just hollow tactics. You must shift your entire approach from a transactional mindset to one of building trust. Trust is the ultimate currency of influence in any corporation. Let me tell you a quick story. When I was trying to make the leap from marketing manager to marketing director, I got passed over. I told you about this twice. I thought my work should speak for itself, but that was really my transactional mindset. I was focused on the what and the how, completely missing the why that actually moves people. It wasn't until I started working with a coach that I realized that I wasn't doing a job. I was supposed to be building a following. I had to learn to lead, to influence, and to build trust with my peers and superiors. The moment that I made that shift, the doors flew open. I didn't just get a promotion, I ended up doubling my salary. And by the way, the lead for that role came from somebody in my network. And very often that's the best way to get a job, is through referrals from your network. This is the shift that I want for you. The tactics I shared are simply vehicles for demonstrating your value and your character. In every conversation and every email you send, your primary goal isn't to get a job offer. It's to build a foundation of trust. So before you walk into that next meeting, I want you to ask yourself a question from my leadership voice framework. What shift am I trying to create in this moment? That shift isn't to get them to help me. That shift is to get them to see me as a trusted peer and a strategic partner, because that's what you are. When you make that your goal, everything changes. So let's recap the system that replaces networking for good. 1, operate with the value first playbook, making you a strategic resource. 2, intentionally build your inner circle, your personal board of directors. And 3, anchor every action in the mindset of building trust, not just making transactions. When you implement this framework, you stop chasing opportunities. You never have to attend another awkward networking event again, unless you want to. Instead, you become a center of gravity within your organization, and the right opportunities start coming directly to you. If you're a leader who is ready to stop chasing and start attracting career-defining roles, this is the work we need to do. I'm Terry McDougall, and I help my clients implement this exact framework to increase their impact and advance their careers without burnout. Click on the link below to book a call with me. I really look forward to talking to you.